Hey, cuties and sweeties. It's November 15th, 2020, and David right here. That's me. I'm the only female David that I know. So it was always kind of cool to, once I came to terms with, I'm not changing my name. I like the name, and I think it's kind of cool. So I challenge a Craig out there to do the same, or a Kevin, because I don't know any female Kevins or female Craigs. Anyways, we're definitely moving forward, aren't we? I like to think with that. It's a little progressive. Okay, I'm enough on that. I get a little bit on myself, and it's kind of funny. So just bear with me as you watch this, if you're watching this, and please excuse some of these fun little bounce off subjects that I do. I noticed I'm a little bit ADD, and I can't help but laugh at some of my thinking erroneousness. So, a common question that people often ask when asking me when in a message, in a messenger, in a message, is simply, and these are full strangers, and I actually entertain the idea of talking with these people because they want to know, why do you want to be trans? Is a question that I've actually received, and I'm going to tell you this: I didn't want to be trans. I spent 20 some odd years fighting it. I didn't know that's what it was. I thought it was just homosexuality. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to do it. And so I ended up becoming a drug addict. And pretty much, well, alcohol's in there too. So these things are evident in my life history. And I couldn't figure out what the cause was. And I couldn't figure out why I had a hunger in my heart that said, let's feel. So I had to learn to feel like a human. Like I said, I bounce subjects, so bear with me. I love that I'm a trans now. I love it. I love it because I know who I am, and there's no hunger in my heart anymore. There's no anger at God. Why did you make me this gender if I am this gender? These are the thoughts that would go through my head. Full form anger at God, shame at things that aren't shameful. And there was a lot of delusion into how my family would take it when I finally came out. So I was going to wait till my dad and my mom, I was going to wait until, really, I was going to wait too late. The miracle of becoming transgender, rather, not becoming, the miracle of transitioning, finally making the step to do it, it is miraculous. You will find, let me just stick with me, I found exceptional clarity of thought, exceptional purpose. Like the question, what drives you, started coming into my head in the mornings and at night. What drives you? What drives you? Before I even transitioned. And the question, and this was relatively recent, in the last couple years, well, it's important to understand how beautiful it feels to know who you are, to know who I am. It's been great. Now I want to actually apply myself, and it's a little bit harder to get a job, I noticed, but I don't think that that's because I'm trans. I don't think that that's it. Maybe, I mean, like a percentage of a percentage. But I really think it has a lot to do with my personal history. I have a criminal history that's just ugly. It spans too long for me to consider as normal, and they're all stupid petty things, but they rack up because the VOPs that are on there, it just looks so bad. But anyways, I will say this, because you'll see the spring-loaded knife, possession of a concealed weapon charge. I'm going to go ahead and give you the details on what happened there. It's in the book, but given that book's not out yet, And that book's name is Crystallized, for a couple reasons. I purchased a lighter at a gas station for $6 that had a little knife on it, this big. And when you push the button, I thought it was so cool. And I worked at Blockbuster, so I was one of those people, Blockbuster nerd, you know. Don't be late. I got fired for taking people's late fees off. Bad. But anyways, I used it to cut the plastic off of the videos when we got new videotapes to come in because we had a whole bunch and I didn't like the X-Acto knives they had there. But anyway, going to a class called Crime and Justice in America, which was actually one of my favorite classes in the summer of 2001. God, 19 years ago. And I was going 19 over the speed limit. Got pulled over, had a little eyebrow piercing right here. I was the only thing I ever did that remotely resembles anything pierced or tattooed. I will never get a tattoo. To my belief, I don't think I will. I just, unless it has like computer use, like you'd be able to access like your own computer by way of something cool. I used to think, yeah, if a tattoo actually has purpose, then I might actually get one. But they don't have that yet. That's probably 20 years down the road. And now my whole drive is my driving force. When I asked what drives you, my base state is love. Love drives me. Love of life and love for others, unconditional, truly, to the most. I mean, absolute most pit of my being. That's what drives me now. So, a loving being. That's what I've become. I have my share of. Let me think for a sec. So I did want to say this. I didn't originally want to be trans, and it became down to transition or die. That's really why I did it. Why do you want to be trans? So I can live. Why do you want to breathe? And okay, so for addiction, why would somebody feel addicted? What is there is a funny correlation between the two for me. I used to say for people that have never been addicted, you want to know what it's like. The next time you get an itch on the bottom of your foot, don't scratch it. Don't scratch the itch. And imagine living with that feeling, and it's not the same feeling. It's not an itch, but that's the best way I can describe what it like. Mental addiction is like. Physical addiction, it's not an itch. It's the flu and other fun things that I'm being sarcastic with fun things. It's just something I guess I do with respect to how I speak. I do wish to make an example of my life as a testimony for the benefit of transitioning for somebody who is transgender. You can be transgender and not transition. Yes, I don't recommend it. I'm a living proof of what happens up to my 39th year, of what happens to a person, what can happen. And there's videos by I don't remember who the videos were, but the main guy on the video, I saw this in a on a probation thing. I used to be on probation, and the video was the guy's name was Father Martin, and he spoke of a crisis in life. Anybody who has a crisis here, I'm at 40 talking about a crisis. Okay, so let me get out of that. Let me come back. Okay, in a crisis, there are three choices. You can go crazy. You can, ultimately, there's death. Or you could self-medicate first so that you don't go crazy and don't end up dying. The sanest, logicalest choice is to self-medicate, per Father Martin. I believe there is a fourth possibility for a crisis, and it depends on the person. I believe if you have any transgender nature in you, then you can transcend that insanity by transitioning. I'm still kooky. I'm still quirky. I still have my funny things that I do, and I definitely bounce from subject to subject. This is me demonstrating me bouncing from subject to subject. So I do apologize. Please excuse that. I'm really just venting for the purpose of just explaining that I would like to make sure that you understand being trans is not something that you choose. It's not a choice. You at least for me, it wasn't a choice. I didn't get a chance to choose. I didn't. My whole life, I wished I was a girl, and then a woman, and then. But we didn't have a word for it in 1980 something. At least I didn't know it. I don't know when the word transgender came out, but when I first read it, I know I'm late to the party. Okay, it was 2012 when I first saw the word transgender. So I started Googling left and right, am I transgender? Am I transgender? Some of the questions, some of the responses in Google were terrible. The thing that would stop me is in reference to sexual deviant. And I'm like, how the hell am I a sexual deviant if I don't know who the fuck I am gender-wise? That doesn't have anything to do with my sex drive. But, long story short, because I'm tell you what, at 6 years old, when you're running around, when you're watching My Little Pony and other fun things like that, and I mean fun things then genuine, that doesn't have anything to do with someone's sex drive. 6 years old, 10 years old, any of those things. So it has nothing to do with sexual deviant, okay? So that's bad information, whatever page you were. I just want to make sure I get that out there. And that if you're trans, please go see a doctor and get the HRT. It's wonderful. It is such a wonderful thing. You might get the benefit of doing it younger is you get to have so much more fun in life. I don't regret. I don't fully regret that I waited so long because I get to tell you what happened as a result. And I want that my life can be used as an example strongly towards the truth that transgenderedness, the state of being, is innate. It is something you are born with. It is nature, not nurture, not something that's hypnotized into me or programmed into me throughout life. This was something that I was from jump. I wish that I was born later sometimes, but I gotta make the best of what I've got. Make the best of it. Turn everything in my life into what I call gemstones, where everything is a nugget of something good. My life wants to witness itself, and so I witnessed it in the book. And if you're interested, I'm a better writer than I am a speaker. It's called Crystallized for a couple different reasons. One of them was the drug use, and the other one was with reference to how I found God. Yeah, I did find God. I found divine intelligence in a bowl of sugar dissolved in water. Let me explain. How, when water drops, when it's evaporating, why doesn't it just pile up as gunk on the bottom of the container? Why doesn't it just form as a powder or form as a block? If you let it dry slow, it organizes itself. It literally goes Buddha on you, and it transcendental stacks of molecules of sucrose will genuinely form prismatic crystalline organization akin to that of quartz itself. And that's another one example. Any crystal is an example of nature showing that there is an intelligence behind the science. Science and faith one day will hold hands, I think. I think that faith will find a strong place in quantum mechanics, but I don't know enough about it in school to say word one about any of these things. I tried. I had wild theories on this channel. I applied them to science fiction. So they're all in my books. I got new books. I'm writing a new one. Like I said, Tomorrow's Promise. That's... I got a long way to go. It's only got like 30-something thousand words in it. So it's got a long way to go. But that's going to be a fun one. And my God, if they make a movie out of it, I'll be proud. So that's something that I look forward to being a part of. It is far-fetched, yes. They say reach for the stars, and then the worst thing that can happen is what? I guess the worst thing that happened is you hit the moon. Well, I can play on that, but I'm not gonna go any further there. I will just say I reached. I reached this time when I wrote that book, the autobiography, and it's an autobiography. I could write more and more and more because I left off my childhood because I feel that I had a very blessed childhood, and writing about these things just went away from really what the gist of the book was about. The book was about my struggle. Damn, I hate that. My struggle in life until I learned that I was trans, and then realized that I didn't have a struggle. And as soon as I started doing the transition and got over the fear of going out of the house dressed as a woman, life got easier. Now I've got some hurdles, and God willing, that's all they are. I just wanna be the change that I want to see in the world. And what's the change? Love. I want to be the love that I want to see in the world. So that's what I'm up to. That is my goal. That is my aim, and that's what drives me. I love you all. God bless you all. And hope you read my book. Yeah, Crystallized. Should be out in December, I think. I will definitely be able to tell you pretty soon. Or it could be the end of November, but still working on the cover design. And I think I'm aiming. I'll be able to tell you more in time. All right.